Giants have selected Michael Strahan, defensive end, Texas Southern.
That was scary. To come to New York, what is going on? I'm used to Houston. This will be okay, but they have LT. It's cold up there. What am I going to do?
I know it's going to be a big responsibility. I can't help that I went to New York. So it's just something I have to put on my shoulders, and I just have to take it. I know all of it's not going to be good, but I'm going to try to do my best to keep it all positive.
And I came into the city and said, I'll never drive in the city, ever. They're crazy. And I would look out of my hotel room window at 2 or 3 in the morning. People walking on the streets like it was 5 in the afternoon, like rush hour. And I said, I don't know if I can make it here. I'll never forget being in the locker room for the first time. We're getting our physicals, and one of the last guys to come in to get his physical is LT. And he didn't walk in the room. He came in, it's like he was gliding. And I wanted to ask for an autograph. That's how much we respected him and how much we looked up to him.
From day one, when he got to the Giants, he had 2 goals. I remember him telling me, I have 2 goals. I want to win a Super Bowl, and I want to break Lawrence Taylor's franchise single-season sack record.
What's the most LT ever got?
15, and he had 20 and a half one year.
Did he?
Yeah, I got to come out the box for that one.
Self-starting was a process Michael had always valued. It was how he'd gained himself a BMX bike, how he'd lost himself some baby fat, and how he ended up in an NFL locker room, sweating with the same oldies he had as a boy.
His locker was right across from mine. I would look and go, that's freaking Herschel Walker over there. What am I doing here? And then I asked for my money back for that Herschel Walker workout book I bought, because I was like, it didn't work. And he's like, look where you are now.
Workouts like Walker's had been his nurture, but just as valuable in making Michael stand out in his first few NFL seasons were the things he'd gotten from nature.
A lot of people are given the God-given gifts, and a lot of people don't have the intensity or desire to get in there and mix it up, and he had both of them.
Well, I'll tell you, Strahan is really having his way with John Runyon, and John Runyon's a good tackle.
Playing him many times, I can guarantee you, the week after the Giants game, there was 2 trips to the chiropractor scheduled post that because your neck was so locked up. You don't see that in a lot of guys, especially at the defensive end position, that are willing to run square into you, because that takes a toll on yourself as a defensive lineman when you do that.
Michael's ability to hit and take a hit may very well have come from his father, a fighter for the U.S. Army boxing team. Twice during his military career, Gene Strahan faced a Marine named Ken Norton, who years later defeated Muhammad Ali and became heavyweight champion. Gene had a 1-1 record against Norton, and Michael didn't need a DNA test to prove he had Gene's genes.
You're kicking, punching, scratching, you're biting, you're doing everything you got to do.
Giants had a guy in their locker room named Chris Mamalanga.
Chris Mamalanga.
He was an ex-street gang member, big Samoan.
Punish and destroy, boy! Soul crusher!
People were horrified of him.
He'd gotten into some fights with some other guys on the team, and he was undefeated. This particular day, he took exception with me. So in my head, I'm thinking, why me? I don't want to fight this guy. He's a defensive tackle. He's 300-something pounds. He's just knocking guys out left and right. But I'm leaning against the chalkboard, and I'll never forget him saying, yeah, you think you can whip me? And I said, I didn't say that, but if you swing, we're gonna have to go.
And everybody's like, oh, boy, this goofy Michael Strahan's about to get his butt whipped. When I tell you Michael Strahan whipped Chris Malmalanga's butt, tore his head off twice, put him down there, beat him up, and then actually said, rookie, you just got your ass initiated. Get up and get out of the locker room.
And I'll never forget, after the fight, Keith Hamilton said, I would have bet my house. I'd have bet my house on Chris. And his words really told me what that moment meant, that they learned something about me that day that they didn't know.
You working out? With chia pet. Chia. I am not naturally aggressive. When I have to be, I can be aggressive. When you push me by button.
You can't let somebody intimidate you. You can't let somebody punk you, because if they get away with it once, they'll do it. You'll never get out of that.
And he used to tell people all the time, don't get the whole laughy, jokey with the gap thing. Don't get that mistaken for the fact that I will knock you out right here.
Put your ass on the ground next time, Bubba. Guaranteed.
Jekyll and Hyde. When he clicks over, he's not just lisping a bunch of insults at you. He will fight you before you'll fight him. And that is what helped make him great out there.
Now, how you gonna come hit me under my leg like that? Huh? How you gonna come hit me like that?
There are guys who have talked trash to him out there, and they hit a nerve.
Am I smiling, idiot? If I'm over here, he come from the center and hit me in the back of the leg. What is that? That's bull. That's what like you call it good.
Really, he's just that little thing. He gets sensitive like that. That's why John Runyon got his wrath. People built it up more and more.
He got the habit.
Just run his ass over.
Yeah.
Okay, really? Screw me? No, screw you. That's his attitude. If you get under his skin, he's gonna beat you down.
All day long. Your boy can't touch me. You know that. You can't touch me.
I have a lot of friends like Michael, too, and I always say that someone like that is a borderline insecure. They have issues that they don't want you to attack them on, and if you never get a second to talk,
Damn, John, you gonna hold like that all day?
you're never gonna get them.
Block for once, come on.
He had that from the start, that edge, like, I have to be better than people think I can be, and he never lost it to the day he retired. He always had that little boy inside saying there's somebody out there who doesn't think I'm as good as I know I can be.
Think I don't know? You think I ain't looking at paper?
A man with a restless soul in a city that never sleeps. Coming up, was this match wonderful?
And you guys have all been great.
Or combustible?
You should be ashamed of yourself, sir.
I always had a gap.
Not that big, though.
I always had a gap. I never measured it, but...
As a kid, I never paid attention to it. And I don't remember a lot of jokes about it till I got older. They didn't have a health plan. Your dad was in the Army. Yes, they had a great health plan. And I went to the dentist as an adult. Ready? And I had the entire mock-up done. And I said to myself, well, now I have the opportunity to fix it, so why don't I?
When you're young, you're thinking, what do people want me to be? Or how should I act? Especially in the NFL, because there's people around you telling you need to do this, you need to do that. Like him going there and thinking about getting that gap done.
I was excited to do it, but then I realized that it wouldn't be me. I don't think I would have felt the same. It's my trademark.
The gap, signing off.
I'll keep the gap tooth. See, those guys don't have this right there. You see that? Sexy. Yeah.
You get older and you figure out, you know what, forget about what everybody thinks. I'm just going to be me. And he's done that perfectly and capitalized on it.
Once upon a time, making big plays had made him cry. Now, garnering applause was all fun and games. And while some days Michael looked like a one-man show, he was never afraid to share the spotlight.
He said, Mom, they want to know if you would want to be on the soup commercial. And I said, yes. He said, you can't act. I said, boy, whatever, I've been doing all my life. Bring it on.
And that camera came on, and you need a hot bowl of chunky soup to fill you up right. I was like, what are you doing, expert? You supposed to know this.
Hello, sir.
But my mom ended up doing great.
You need some nice hot chunky soup to fill you up right.
Ended up shooting more commercials. We're walking down 57th Street with a microwave on my shoulder. They made her somewhat of a celebrity. So she was happy with that, which made her baby son happy.
Louise's magnetism, like Jean's pugilism, became more obvious in their youngest son the higher his profile grew. One trait was more useful when Michael entered the football arena, the other in his budding career entering people's homes.
I remember working for an electronics company, and every Monday night, a customer would win a sandwich that fed 40 people, and I would come to their house and watch Monday Night Football with them.
Michael Strahan, you ready for some football? Yes, I am.
And I would go into these homes of strangers and have to figure out a conversation and figure out how to talk to them and watch at least half of this game with these people.
So, you excited?
Nervous? Me too.
I'm somebody who's thinking about going on the television when I get done playing, and it's like, he is the blueprint. You got to do as much as you can now. It's what he tells me. Take the shows to prepare yourself, and then when you're there, just be yourself.
Good morning, everybody.
Whether it was the Best Damn Sports Show, the Pros versus Joes, Under the Helmet, or Brothers, you have to go through those experiences in order to rise up and get even better.
That's a part of Michael, too. It's like, man, I'm going to go out there, I'm just going to give it my all, and we're going to see what's going to happen.
I'm Michael Strahan.
I was the correspondent for Under the Helmet. It was an inside look, behind the scenes of what football was all about.
What do I got to do, like this?
And you know what actually was really great about him? I wasn't some woman coming into men's football. He was serious about teaching me, but then he was playful at the same time.
Thank you for having me at your game.
I think that's why he's successful. And again, I think that's why he was good in football.
I like this gig.
It's a juxtaposition of really personalities. There's times to check the play out as it's going on. Then it's sometimes just put your head down and run through someone.
In 1998, Michael got 15 sacks and his second straight first-team All-Pro designation. In 2000, he got to his first Super Bowl, but didn't get a Super Bowl ring. For New York's biggest football star, giant mountains remained. The story of one of them began in the Rockies.
I remember we played the Denver Broncos on a Monday night. I'm in bed that Tuesday morning because we came in really late, and I get a phone call saying, look out the window.
We came back trying to get a pulse of what was the NFL going to do. There was a lot of concern, when are we getting back to things?
It's not easy. It's never easy.
Michael got on the conference call with league officials when they were contemplating getting right back to work that first weekend after 9/11. And Michael was the voice willing to say, strong enough to say, this area is not ready to get back to football yet. I'm not taking the field. And by taking that stand, nobody else had to do that.
Still is unbelievable that all the people died and that those buildings aren't there anymore.
It was a reflection of Michael standing. They listened to him.
The National Football League has decided not to play this weekend.
Michael, being born up as a military brat, there were exposure he had to soldiers getting killed and et cetera, so I think he could probably appreciate it better than most.
Football is so secondary right now. I think New York City and the country needs to be behind everybody with the effort of trying to save as many people as possible and trying to get the city back on its feet.
Michael was right there at the front of collecting supplies. They were here in the parking lot of the Giant Stadium and going out to the harbor by Jersey City and loading boats.
When you bring a guy like Strahan down there and he spends some time with the people who are working so hard to kind of let everybody in New York City rise back up, I think it was inspirational, and he embraced that opportunity.
And I remember after that, I said, you know what? I'm going to dedicate this season to that. Like, what they went through, I'm tired was tired.
You are either a giver or a taker. Let's be a giver. It's going to be physical. It's going to be tough. You're going to be tired. All that bullshit, man. Get that out your mind.
Go out here and just bust your butt every day and be so grateful for being here and being alive and being a distraction. What happened was an amazing year. I just hate that it got caught up in the wash of the record-breaking sack.
Play fake, rolls right, gets sacked by Michael Strahan. It's a new record. Michael Strahan, 22 and a half sacks, breaks the mark held by Mark Gastineau, set 1984.
The sack record's great, absolutely phenomenal. But I almost feel like, in a sense, it was diminished because everyone goes, oh, Brett Favre gave you a sack.
I don't think he's had an easier sack than that one right there. And Brett Favre obviously wanting Michael Strahan to get that sack record.
Michael Strahan and Warren Sapp joining us.
I caught so much flack over it.
When did you do that thing with Brett Favre again?
Oh, no, don't go there.
22 and a half one year. 21 and a half, 21 and a half. You don't count the last one? We're not going to talk about that.
It's not worth it. Because everyone looks as if one sack that they question is the defining moment of my career. I didn't have a sack in the first 3 weeks of the season. So from 4 weeks on, 13 games, 22 and a half sacks, that's hard to match. And I've never spoke like this about it because I've always just kind of taken it. But I always have to say, if you don't like it, then break it. That's it. It's all good, man. I love what I do.
How good is J.J. Watt?
Oh, he's phenomenal. One of my favorite players to watch. I wish he'd have broke that record so he could leave me alone about it. The thing I'm most proud of is that season, I broke LT's record in a single season.
Sacked by Michael Strahan. He's got 3.5 today and has set a New York Giant record.
I love Mark Gastineau. I appreciate him. But, hey, this is a guy I grew up watching who floated into a locker room, didn't have to move his legs to walk, who was a god to me. I remember the first day I walked in the locker room, Lawrence Taylor walks through, and I'm a rookie, and the whole locker room just goes silent like Jesus walked in. To break his record in a single season, I think endeared me the fans.
We know you're the man, Michael. You keep that defense together, brother. Go, Mike.
But still, there's nothing that endears you more to any city than winning at all. So I just felt like I didn't give the city everything that they deserved personally, myself, by not bringing a championship here, by being close and losing one.
The next time the Giants approached the mountaintop, they not only fell short, they fell apart, surrendering a 24-point third-quarter lead in the 2002 wildcard playoff. New York's lack of on-field discipline was a catalyst for that loss, for the 4-12 season that followed, and for the arrival of the third head coach of Michael's Giants career.
Good.
A man determined to bring back Big Blue's luster by making his troops pass muster.
My dad was an officer in the Army, yet at the same time, my dad was a much more gentle man than Tom Coughlin when he first came to the Giants.
We lost the game because of illegal procedure.
Gene Strahan didn't prepare me for that. Nobody could have.
The first time he ever came in my office was this big scowl, you know, and he sat there across from me, and we just looked at each other, and I maybe said a couple of words, and he wasn't real happy when he left.
I hated him. And when I say hate, I don't mean hate like, oh, I'm just saying hate as a loose word. No, I mean I absolutely hated the man. He would fine you for your socks being too low or too high, for wearing the wrong color sleeves under your practice jersey.
You don't know what scout squad you're on? Just figure you're going to be light in your check.
Michael bucked that more than anyone on the team. He did not like the new rules. He didn't want to be at a meeting 10 minutes early.
He fined me $500 for being 3 minutes early. I said, Coach, come on, man. He said, it could have been more. And I lost it. I went from 0 to 60. And I spoke to him unlike I've ever spoken to any coach. And I basically let him know, forget you. I'm the guy, the one that the guys look up to as a leader, so if there's a problem, they're going to come to me, but yet you won't listen to me. I say, you think I'm dumb? You're dismissing me, but you're losing this team. Do you hear that?
That was dangerous for Coach Coughlin because Michael held such sway in the locker room. Michael had put a lot of years in the NFL at that point, had been a defensive player of the year, you know, had set the single-season sack record. I certainly think there was a part of him saying, you don't need to change me. You know, what I'm doing is working.
But
my right foot and my left foot, both ankles have been...
Even success can take a toll.
Sprained my left knee a few times.
On top of 14 NFL seasons of bumps and bruises.
I've messed up my right hip, my lower back.
Michael piled a fractured foot.
What did I do? I tore my pec.
That ended his 2006 season in Week 9.
Had I had to have foot surgery at year 14, I was done. I'd resigned myself to say that I was one of these guys that had a great career but just wasn't meant to win the Super Bowl. If my body gave out before my mind did, then that was just part of the game.
I remember him saying he couldn't bend over to tie his shoelaces anymore. His body had been beat up so much. I thought, gosh, this is a guy who's accomplished a lot already. Maybe he's done.
When I saw the specialist and he told me, well, you're not going to need surgery, I mean, I was relieved. But at the same time, you're a little conflicted because you're like, now I really have the main decision, a big decision to make is if I'm going to go back and play.
He wasn't in training camp that summer, you know, so we would talk on the phone probably once a week. And I would always say, Michael, We want you back in the worst way, but only if your heart is in the right place.
I was sitting on the beach in California thinking, man, I kind of like this life. I'm done. But I said, you know what? I don't want to go out and leave my career out on an injury. So I got off the beach and went back to play. But I went back under a different mentality. Forget about stats, forget about the media, what they're gonna say, if you're good or you're not. Enjoy the guys, enjoy the coaches.
How can our strength coach walk around with a pink shirt on? I mean, we're supposed to be tough guys.
Enjoy being on the bus and busting and cracking jokes.
Tom Coughlin killing an In-N-Out burger.
Tom Coughlin, when I looked at it, his ultimate goal is to win. That's what I wanted to do. At that point in my career, I don't have the one thing that I felt like I wanted, and that was the Super Bowl.
And it took some yelling, and it took some angry confrontations, but Strahan listened to what Coughlin's rules were, and Coughlin listened to Strahan's warnings about going too far with those rules.
I'm not going to find you, but I could. I mean, I could get everything. You understand me?
They definitely gravitated toward each other, and once they did, they both realized they both come from military backgrounds and discipline. They really are cut from a similar cloth.
Was I a part of the problem? Or was I going to be a part of the solution?
And you got to make up your mind on which part you're going to be.
By the end, I think Michael Strahan would have walked on hot coals if that's what Coughlin told him to do. And between them, they really opened the door that brought the Giants to the Super Bowl.
Here we are against a team that's 18-0, okay? They drive the ball into our territory. We stop them on our 44-yard line. They're not that far away from a field goal, for crying out loud.
Belichick's a brilliant coach. Rushed the punt team out there before the other team's defense is off the field.
It's 12 men on the field.
That gave them a first down.
And as this thing prevails, I'm getting upset about it because this could be catastrophic. So he slides up next to me, he can see it. He looks at me, those big eyes, and he says, Coach, we've been in a lot tougher situations than this before. Not only did he calm me down, he goes out there with his defensive teammates. They thought they were out, they're back in. They got to make another stop. He keeps them up. He sacks Brady, and we stopped him. That's what he meant to that team.
So New England got another chance, but so did this Giants defense.
And I just looked and said, Coach, what you worried about, man? We got it. Like with a smile, like, hey, it's fun, man. This is like the Super Bowl. I've been uptight in the Super Bowl before and it didn't work. So I refuse to be uptight in this one.
17-14 at the final, okay? 17-14, fellas. One touchdown, we are world champions. Believe it, and it will happen.
Touchdown Giants! And that is it. The New York Giants have knocked off the New England Patriots.
We won the Super Bowl.
In my wildest dreams, I never thought that I would last more than one season with Tom Coughlin. And I remember during the season, I said, I can't imagine playing for anybody else other than Tom Coughlin. For me, the biggest thrill of my football life is the fact that I feel like I am a part of the history of the game, but not as an individual, but as a Super Bowl champion with the New York Giants. I'm just happy that I ended a career with something that I could share with other guys who are like my family.